Annyeonghaseyo!
Ako po si Father Roy Bellen.
At ako po si Father Hans Magdurulang. Tayo ay muling magsama-sama sa isang masarap at masayang kwentuhan dito sa Tastetimony Season 6!
Muli po, welcome sa ating kusina dito po sa Tastetimony at sa ating mga friends all over the world, sa inyo pong lahat. Isang pinagpalang araw po. Annyeonghaseyo!
Wow, talaga naman. Mukhang pang international tayo ngayong araw na ito, Father Roy, ha?
Siyempre.
Kinakabahan ako, baka foreigner ang ating guest. Sana nakapalit muna ako kay Father Jojo ulit. Baka mapasabak tayo sa Englishan. Hindi. Kaya binabati po natin ang ating mga kapatid dito sa TV Maria at sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta ng iba't ibang programa ng TV Maria all over the world, lalo na dito sa Tastetimony.
Yes. Ngayon, Father Hans, ngayong araw na ito, ngayong espesyal na episode na ito, isa pong foreign food ang ating may tikman. Kaya tayo marunong Annyeonghaseyo. Ayan.
Yan ba'y Korean food?
Yes, of course.
Galing.
Kuhang-kuha mo. Kaya ngayong araw pong ito, we have with us, ang ating pong guest ay si Miss Jacques Manuntag.
Yes.
Hi, Miss Jacques.
Hello po.
Hello, Jax.
Hi, Jacques.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Welcome.
Pero si Jax ay Pilipina.
Pilipina po
Yes.
siya.
Oh, kala ko.
Mukha bang Korean si Jacques, no? Alam mo si Jacques, unang-una po, hindi nagkakalayo aming pong kutis. Maputi po ng... Ako ay nasunog na kahapon, ako po yung arawan, kaya medyo hindi po
Kaya
nakahabol.
pala nakatutok lahat ng spotlight sa'yo, Father Roy.
Naghahabol ako ng ilaw.
Katabi mo si Miss Jax. Ayan.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Jax. Welcome sa kusina ng Tastetimony.
Thank you po. It's nice to be here.
Wow.
Ano ba ang iyong ihahain sa amin? Bakit napaanyong aseyo kami ngayon?
We call it Korean beef stew. It's a staple. When you think about Korean food, isa yan sa mga una mo may isip.
Korean
Yes.
beef stew. Wow.
So, Korean
Beef,
beef
stew.
stew.
Alam mo, isa yan sa mga, lalo sa mga kabataan, ano, isa yan sa mga paborito at pinapangarap mapuntahan. Korea talaga.
Oo nga, oo nga.
Nakapunta ka na rin ba sa Korea,
Opo.
Jax?
Siguro.
Oo, di ba? Sa
Well,
Nami
ito
Island.
Ba, Jack, it happens, ito yung iyong favorite na pagkain ba? Why you chose yung Korean
beef
stew?
stew.
Beef stew.
It's a comfort food for me. And it's pretty easy to make, so I've
Kahit
tried it
sino
multiple times with different ingredients.
Pinag-aralan mo talaga ito, Jax.
Yeah.
By the way, yung name ni Jacques, manataka, ano ba yung Jacques? Ano ba yung spell ng pangalan ni Jacques? J-A-X ba? Ito parang lalaki, no?
Yeah, that's it's Jacques, but I grew up like not knowing how to pronounce it properly since it's French. Jacques siya supposedly, but yun, growing up, it's Jacques for
Jacques.
me and my friends and my family.
French siya, no? French.
Yeah,
French
French
name
form
with a Korean food.
Yung Hans ko ay German name with a native face.
Ako yung Roy naman. Parang
Ano yung Roy?
sosyalin.
Ano yung Roy?
Bicol lang, taga Bicol. Bicol lang siya.
Uy, ano yung mga ingredients natin, Miss Jax?
Okay,
Sige
so
po.
we have 1 kilo beef and I chose 2 different kinds of cuts. This is the short ribs and then the chuck. So kalahati-kalahating kilo ginamit natin. And then we have salt, pepper to taste, and then for the broth, if you have soup broth, like beef broth, you can use that. But if you don't have one, we have 4 cups water with a bouillon cube, beef cube, and then 3/4 cup sugar, 3/4 cup soy sauce, some sesame seeds, and some oil for sauteing. And then 1 whole garlic, 1 whole onion, large onion. If you don't have a large onion, you use 2 small ones. And then 2 tablespoons of gochujang. And then
Gochujang?
yes, that's Korean.
Paki-spell nga, Father Hans.
And then the onion leeks for garnishing.
Yung part,
And the
yung part na...
sesame oil.
Sesame oil. Yung part, gochujang.
Gochujang.
Ano sa Korean
Ingredient?
spice?
ingredient talaga.
Ah,
So like
okay,
it's a red chili paste.
Saan sa nakakabili ng ganyan? Sa hardware? Yeah, may...
Korean
Try mo sa
groceries.
Mercury
Actually,
Kuya.
marami na kasi ngayong Korean grocery, so it's easy to acquire now.
Wow. Naku.
Ano yung gochujang?
Gochujang.
I am sure maraming interesadong mga youth dito, mga young
Yeah.
people. Mahihilig sila ngayon sa mga Korean
series.
food.
Sa Korean series, don't forget.
O sige,
Okay, sige
pwede
ba?
natin simulan bago tayo magsimula sa kwentuhan natin sa life ni
I'll
Jacques?
just
Jacques.
start by mincing the garlic.
Mini-min.
Yes. So,
Alam mo, nakakatuwang pakinggan si Jacques, Kuya Father Roy, habang nagpapaliwanag siya ng mga ingredients. Parang sanay na sanay sila. Kasi nga may business sila sa food.
yes
Diba?
po.
Please tell us something about yung family business.
It's called Hungry Burgers.
Hungry
Oh,
Burgers.
It's been around since 2000. Nag-start siya as a small stall in Hialeah.
Yan po si Hans, Father Hans. Meron siyang
Eto.
Yes, there's a sample
Hungry
of our
Burger.
burger.
Yes.
Ito ay somewhere before po, no? Yung Harrison Plaza, di ba?
Yes, sa
The
Harrison
first,
Plaza.
I think it's the first mall sa Philippines.
Pero-
Katabi po niya yung building nila.
Yeah,
Yes.
pero Jacques, can I open this box
Yes,
para
please,
malaman
please
nila kung
open
anong
it
kakaiba
so
sa inyong
we
Hungry Burger?
Bakit siya
Yes,
Hungry Burger?
definitely.
Pagkat hindi yung tao ang gutom. Parang yung burger ang gutom na gutom
Ayan.
sa laki niya.
Yan po ang burger na
So,
nakakain ng
it's-
tao. No?
Tignan
it's
nyo naman.
8 inches in diameter, so parang plato size po.
Ilan ulit?
8
Gano'ng
inches.
8 inches.
Grabe. Ang
Wow.
laki.
So,
oh.
pwede siya i-share ng 4 to 6 people. Actually, pwede siya i-slice hanggang 8. But
Okay.
recommended size is up to 6 slices.
Pero pag gutom ka talaga, Father Hans, pwedeng ikaw na lang.
Kayang-kaya na mag-isa lang. Marami nang like
Nag-attempt?
challenges.
Wow.
Yeah, they eat it all by themselves.
Grabe.
Bakit nyo napili yung pangalang Hungry Burgers?
Hungry Burgers, my dad thought of the name. Parang he just thought Hungry Burgers is catchy. And then he just changed the letter Y with the 2 E.
Oo nga eh.
So,
When
para
did you
din
start the
unique yung
business?
spelling.
When did you start the business?
Around year 2000. Because my mom didn't want to be a stay-home mom. So, they came up with a business na parang meron siyang pagkakaabalahan at pagkakakitaan. So, together they built it. Well, kasi my dad is a singer. So, parang he has his own thing. My mom wants her own thing also.
Parang si Father Hans. Alam mo si Father Hans,
Yeah.
singer din yan eh. Si Father Hans.
Sample naman
Because
dyan.
I learned from Father Roy.
Maya pa
Sige,
yung sample, maya pa yung
magbalikan.
sample. No? But you know, Father, mamaya you'll be surprised, no? Itong si Jacques, siya isang choir member.
Yes,
Mamaya,
syempre.
we'll ask sample from her.
Mamaya
no?
yan.
Song and dance
Saka
from Jacques.
Kung ano pa mga kwento.
Yes,
Kung ano pa mga
pa.
kwento
Sige
sa
po.
family Miss Jacques. Pero kamusta ang business ngayong nagkaroon
Pandemic.
ng pandemic?
During the start of the pandemic, parang everyone was locked down, right?
Oo.
So, we were one of the few ones who remained open. So, it was a good time for us. But then, somewhere down the road kasi, syempre, hirap ang mga tao. So, we ended up closing 2 branches. So, we still have 2 branches remaining. And going strong naman siya. So, thankfully, we still can run it.
Wow,
Grabe. It's a blessing, no? Kasi nga, ang daming, nabanggit mo na rin, na sadyang napakaraming businesses ang naapektuhan. Sabi nga, I have a friend who often describes it na maraming pinadapa
Oo,
itong
yeah.
pandemic
The term,
na ito.
no?
Oo,
Kapag
the term.
nagnegosyo ka po talaga, kailangan prepared ka na it's something, parang it's sort of like a vocation also to be a business person. Kasi hindi siya yung tulad ng ibang employees na time in, time out. It's like all your days, you think about it. Yun.
Oo.
Ang galing.
Day in, day out.
Yan,
Yan.
sige, ano
Let
na
me
ba?
just toast the sesame
Sige.
seeds first.
Tinatoast ang
natin.
sesame.
Yeah.
Sige, sige. Isa pa. Yan.
Okay.
There you go.
So just medium heat para hindi
Medium
siya
heat.
masunog agad. Kaya painitin lang natin saglit bago natin isalang.
By the way, ilan kayong kakapatid, Jack?
Nagulat si Jack sa'yo, kuya.
Two.
Nagulat siya.
Oo. Bulat.
Dalawa
kuya?
lang po kami
Yeah.
magkapatid. I'm the youngest.
Pero I heard, Jax, na kahit ikaw ang youngest, ikaw na ngayon ang parang manager ng Hungry Burgers.
Yes
Tama
po,
ba
I
yun?
take care of the business.
Mamaya hingi ako ng calling card para pumunta ako.
Sige.
Friend ko si Jack. Friend ko si Jack.
No problem.
Kamusta ang pagiging, ang napakabata ni
Oo nga,
ni
as a
Jax
manager,
na-
no?
Mukha lang
Kamusta ang
po.
pagiging manager, Jax, ngayon? Lalo na, inabot ka sa pandemic, no? Itong
Oh,
pandemic.
during your time,
Opo.
no? Mahirap, oh.
Lots of learnings along the way because it's not something I'm used to. Because my mom, she knows everything. So actually, she still oversees it. She guides me. But yeah, I run the day-to-day
So ikaw ang
operations
parang,
now.
ikaw ay on-the-job training pa in a way, no? For your
Parang ganon.
managerialship.
Oo.
Yeah, but I've come a long way naman din since I started.
Wow.
I'm sure. Nako,
Saan ka medyo nahirapan nung binigay na sa'yo yung responsibility? Saan ka medyo nahirapan mag-adjust pa o gumawa?
It's more on the dealing with the employees. Because it's kind of difficult to manage people sometimes, especially if everyone's locked down. Parang iba-iba na yung mga
priorities nila.
priorities and the
yung safety rin nila.
Concerns.
pero siya, kanya-kanyang worries din kasi hindi may iwasan na maapektuhan yung work din nila.
Totoo, Father Hans, sa ganitong panahon talaga, sabi nga eh, yung tawang, well, siya yung asset mo talaga.
Yeah.
At the same time, siya yung kailangan mong bigyan ng panahon at ng effort. Kasi nga, parang ang stove, ipinutin mo lang, mag-on na siya, sunod na agad sa'yo. Ang ref, buksan mo lang, sunod sa'yo, no? Pero yung tao minsan, they have their reasons,
Ang
bakit
dami
hindi
niya.
pwede.
Considerations.
Oo.
Ang dami niya.
Because we're dealing with humans, we're not dealing with robots.
Yan.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah,
Plus, they have the feelings,
Yeah.
no? Na-offend mo sila.
You will be
ganun mo sila.
concerned. You have to be concerned not just with the business but with the people you work with.
Amen.
Wow, I like
Yan.
that, no? Ang galing naman ng ganyang pag-iisip.
Yan ang magaling na manager.
Mukhang napakagaling ng manager nito.
May puso.
Yun.
Buti, kala namin si saging na may puso. No? Buti may puso pala yung ating manager dito.
Yeah, so we just
ano
toast
ba yan?
this one until it's light brown. And then we
Kailangan
just set
talaga
this aside.
nakaangat, Jax? Ganyan talaga.
Para hindi masunog kasi. Kasi it's very easy to So we just roast it until it's light brown. Which
galing
na-achieve na naman natin.
Okay.
Okay.
So isa-set aside na natin siya.
Ano ulit yan, Jax?
The sesame
Yung
seeds.
sesame seed.
Galing yung sa Sesame Street.
Yeah. Although meron namang may mga available naman na pre-roasted, but if you don't have that, you can do it yourself.
Do it
And
yourself.
now, let's saute the garlic.
Ang pagluluto ng Korean food medyo mabusisi kumpara sa Filipino food. Hindi naman.
Parang similar lang din naman. Actually, ang ano ko lang with Korean food compared to ours, parang sweet.
Ang Korean food.
Tayo
Like
parang
sweet.
mahilig tayo masyado sa salty.
Mahilig na naman ang Pinoy sa sweet, but if you see our mga putahe ng Pilipino, they're not on the sweet side, more on the savory, salty types.
Oo. Galing no, napag-aralan na ni
Siyempre.
Jax
Eh,
yan.
magluto yan eh. No?
Napabayaan po sa kusina.
But sabi mo nga, you love cooking talaga, ano?
Yes po.
Apart from the Korean
Ayan na ang garlic.
Yes,
beef stew, ano pang iyong favorite na, may mga Filipino variant na
Yeah,
favorite?
Filipino ang violent.
Ano ba yan? I like kare-kare and sinigang.
Siyempre.
Yeah.
Alam mo, Father Hans na
Mukhang,
tayong favorite.
mukhang babalik si Jax.
Sige po, magluto lang po tayo.
Ayan, ayun na.
And it's really
sarap.
nice, you know.
Yan ba yung
Ito
saute?
naman.
You know? Di ba yung tawag dyan? Yung saute.
Saute lang until it's light brown also. And we'll just set this aside.
Okay.
Just like the sesame seeds.
Aha, yan.
Yan, be careful lang na hindi rin siya masunog. Although toasted naman, so
Ayan, pero habang nagsosote,
Sosote.
ayan, habang nagsosote si Jax, tayo ay magbe-break muna po sandali. Magbabalik pa rin po tayo sa Tastetimony with Jax.
Yeah. And we are back. Matapos po si Jax ay mag-saute, yung ating sauteyer.
yes, actually,
Ang ating sauteyi.
Yay!
Yung ating mga, ito very even yung kaya pagkakasauté ng kanyang
Yes,
garlic.
so-
Bango-bango. Galing.
it's finished, so we'll just set this aside for now.
Okay.
So, yung sauté kanina, from konting oil and you added some oil, no?
Yeah.
Alam mo, napakaganda magsalita ni Jax, no? Parang very Korean. Very Korean. Pero Jax, if may tanong namin,
Po.
ang iyo bang course na tinapos ay may kinalaman sa paglulutong ginagawa mo
No
ngayon?
po. I took up communication arts in LaSalle.
Communication.
In Lasal.
So, mga TV media, ganun, writing.
Kaya pa sa camera si Jack.
Oo.
Ganun.
Pero, yeah, so Lasal, so kahit na paano may active din sa church yan.
Yes,
Meron ka bang
yan.
naging involvement sa church dahil ikay nag-aaral sa Catholic school na
Yeah,
ganun?
actually, ever since I was in elementary, prep pa lang. Catholic school
Grabe
na
naman
ako.
yun.
Kasi I studied in
Puro pa lang
CSA.
namin eh. Active na active ka na sa...
Yeah.
Oo.
We
Colegio
studied
San
in Colegio San
Agustin.
Agustin. And then in high school, we had a requirement na maging involved sa parish. So that's my entry point into serving in church.
Talagang requirement, no?
Yeah, it was really
Kailangan-
required.
Totoo yan, kahit sa parish din, sa
Yeah.
parokya natin.
Oh,
may
yung
mga-
mass card. Father, papirma po!
No, sometimes hindi lang mass card, you have to join talaga,
Yes.
di ba? So what did you join? Parish youth ministry?
Sige na. Let's just brown the beef first.
Yeah.
Yay.
Iba-brown yung ating...
Let's saute the onion first and then continue on to browning the beef.
Browning.
Yes,
Ay, never tayo
it's called
browning.
browning.
Yes.
Para actually, our beef kasi is already na pressure cooker na natin siya. But
Para-
if you're at home kasi, you can use raw beef and then caramelize it first, brown the beef first for the caramelization process. Although it's not required, but it's an extra step that adds to the flavor of the beef.
Oh, talaga naman.
Ayan na. So,
Sweet
you're
oil
going to
first.
add now.
The oil first ite.
Okay.
Galing-galing, no?
Sana oil. ulit.
Sana oil. China.
Oo. Oo. Tapos, oo. So, you were asking kayo Father Hans about siya sa parish involvement niya.
Parish youth ministry, you
parish.
joined the parish youth ministry.
Saan parish ka nga ba ulit? Sorry.
That time I joined the youth ministry in Our Lady of Beautiful Love. It's in Merville.
May ganun pong parish Our Lady of Beautiful
Yes.
Love.
Ang galing naman, no?
Sino parish priest pa that time nun?
Hmm?
Sino parish priest, if you still remember?
I forgot.
Oo. Okay.
But
Hi, Father. Hi, Father of
Hi,
Parish of Beautiful
Father.
Love, Father.
During
Parang
the
mas
time of
involved
Jacques.
kasi with the youth that time were the adults. Parang mga titos and titas namin.
Oo.
Sila yung nag-oversee sa amin.
Oh, and then after nun, parish, hanggang ngayon ba, member ka pa rin ng parish youth ministry, Jack?
Medyo matagal akong umalis sa youth ministry, but now I'm with young adult ministry naman. Nakasali ako ng young adult ministry.
Galing, no?
But in a
May
different
ganung
parish na.
May ganung administrating sa simbahan.
Ministry.
Young
Galing.
adult. Kasi
Young
before,
adult
mga
ministry.
couples for Christ, tapos
Yeah.
okay, children's work, mga bata,
Yeah.
no? Tapos,
Oo.
mga manang.
Pero yung mga kabataan din, mga young professional din, sometimes they join yung the feast, no?
Oo.
Ikaw ba na-involve ka rin ba sa...
I joined the feast before, like, nung medyo I was starting to get too old for youth ministry. A lot of my friends
Aray ko
from the
naman, too
neighborhood,
old talaga. Aray ko.
a lot of my
Ayoko na nga.
friends,
Hindi,
Ka
kasi
first?
nga niya, too old tumingin sa'yo eh.
Ayaw
nauna
din
sila
sa
sa
akin.
nauna sila sumali sa akin sa feast, so they invited me also.
the feast ka rin.
Yes, so since
Okay.
since in our youth ministry, mga kami, worship team, so nakasali rin ako sa the ones who sang for the feast.
Yeah,
Pero
magaling kumanta.
it was a
music.
short time.
Ito
Parang
na ako
saglit
kasi
lang ako
amoy
doon.
na ako eh, amoy bawang. Sibuya. Hindi, beer lang, Jack.
Yeah, so we'll just saute this until medyo maging clear siya. And
Why?
afterwards kasi parang I realized that I want to join a parish-based community, and parang I never really felt like it was the space for me because I don't know.
Gusto mo ng parish base.
Parish.
So,
Oo.
and so ano ang natagpuan mo itong YAM?
It took a while. Actually, nag-try ako to join the choir in the nearby parish sa amin.
Okay.
But then something happened and hindi na ako natuloy doon. But
Something.
ayun, eventually my tita told me that Father Lorenzo Rogero, kasi
yes.
he's a family friend.
Ka-classic ako, kabatch ko siya ng ordination. si Father
Kahit ko
Lorenzo.
yun, kahit.
He's a family friend kasi.
Oo,
so
kahit mo lang kuya yun.
Hindi ko tinuloy. Baka magreklamo ka sa akin, may masabi akong
Kasi
iba eh.
bait mo.
Oo, kasi bait ko.
Hoy, ano ba yung nilagay na natin? Ano?
yes,
Oo.
we already add the beef to
Magugulat
brown
din si
it.
Jax.
Oo nga eh.
Sorry.
Magugulatin.
Tuloy-tuloy.
Oo, sige lang, sige
Ano
lang,
ulit
Jack.
yun? Ano ulit yun?
Yung
We add the
buto-buto
beef
nung...
to brown it. That was the short ribs, and then this is the chuck cut. But basically,
short rib.
whichever cut you
Short
choose.
rib, no? Short rib ang tawag doon? Buto-buto.
Short ribs, yes.
Pero ang
So,
sarap-sarap
actually, we don't have to stir it because we're browning it. So, kahit iwan lang natin siya saglit and then flip later on.
Ano ba ang ginagawa sa young adult ministry? Ayan.
Pre-pandemic, we would always have talks led by Father Lorenzo and then Holy Hour, specifically for the young adult ministry. And then may nagmamask kami and may mga socials night kami minsan, like we had bowling, we had salsa nights.
Wow.
So it was
Nakita ko yan
really
sa
fun.
Facebook
Facebook.
eh.
Yeah.
Pero siguro maganda sa ating mga those of us who are involved sa parish, ano, baka may idea rin kayo. Kasi hindi lahat merong young adults ministry at the moment, ano? Of course, yun nga, para sa mga bata,
We have
may
the
youth,
children, the youth,
tapos, ina,
yung mga ministries,
adults na.
adult ministries.
Yeah.
Kaya nagkaroon siguro nitong
Sila yung
Mga
transition
in-betweeners.
from youth to professional
The
to sa mga
seniors.
adults, no? Oo.
Yes.
Young Adults Ministry. Ito yung mga alanganin pa. Ano ba talaga ako? Asan ba talaga ako?
Searching.
Oo,
Hindi naman
so-
alanganin.
Ano ba ako? Am I too old or am I too young?
I
Diba,
find
may
that it's a crucial time because, you know, when people go to college, they get influenced by different things. So it's difficult
pressure,
to
for
stay.
example,
Yeah, it's
oo.
difficult to stay in the faith if walang nag-guide sa'yo.
Ang galing.
So I'm glad that there's a young adult ministry that I can join now.
Ano yun? Ikaw ang naghanap o ikaw yung nahanap nila?
Nahanap ko siya because my tita invited me because they said na may lunch na. So nag-attend ako ng lunch. And then from there on, tuloy-tuloy.
Oo.
Actually, there's a good story about how I ended up with the young adult ministry. Well, my dad, kasi he fell into a coma. He collapsed on stage at an event in Baguio. And then one of the people who assisted us during that time was Margot. Like I didn't know her. That was the first time I met her. She gave me her number and said that if you ever need anything, just let me know. And then fast forward to when I attended the launch of the young adult ministry, and lo and behold, she was there in front of me, seated in front of me. So I was surprised because
Ikaw na naman?
yeah, like I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to the lunch because my dad was still in the hospital, but somehow I felt drawn to attend. And then that was I took it as a sign somehow that, okay, this is okay that I'm here, I belong here, Margot is here. Right.
Wow.
Wow.
Ganyan, no? There are
Vocation,
really people na instrumental, no?
Yeah.
Kasi di mo alam eh. I'm not sure if Margot is very much aware of it na racket na lang yun para mahata ka sa
I'm
adult
not
ministry.
sure.
Pero
Oo.
she was instrumental para may mga tao mayakag pa sa simbahan.
Oo.
Like I'm not sure if she remembers, but I know I told her naman.
Pero at least maganda kay Jax din, para bang hindi naman niya dahil sa medyo hindi niya na-type yung sa the feast, pero hindi siya tumigil. Parang
Oo.
gusto pa rin niya ma-involve sa church.
Saka may charism din eh, di ba? Bawat tao parang may swak sa iyo eh.
Talagang lalagay ka ng Diyos
Sa lugar.
kung saan ka talaga mag-grow.
Oo, yan.
Kung saan ka para sa Kanya.
So speaking of growth, kumusta ka naman sa Young Adults Ministry? I mean, how did it help or how is it helping you so far?
It helped me stay the path, which I think is important because it's difficult sometimes to find people who believe the same things that you do, especially at the age that we're in. And in the
Oo,
age
sa
of
natin,
social
ano?
media,
Sa amin, may lagayan, Father
yeah.
Hans. May-
And in the age of social media, like you have
Hindi
all
ka
these
pinansin.
things, like
Yeah, honor makita mo.
inaagaw yung
no?
attention mo.
Oo.
So it helps you to focus on what you know to be true.
Mga distractions and
Oo.
challenges din.
Tapos yung priorities mo, di ba?
Buti hindi ka nahihirapan ngayon na active member ka, kung masasabi namin, ng young adult, and then yung business,
Oo
hindi
nga.
naman nahihirapan.
Hindi naman, because scheduling lang na
Yo,
you make time
the
for
word,
what
Father
you...
Hans. Scheduling niya Father Hans eh.
You make time for the things that matter to you.
Wow. Pakiulit nga po rin. Ganda yun ah, mabigat yun ah.
Father, alam nyo rin yan. You make time for the things that matter to you.
Yo.
Ano ulit yan?
Matter to you. Yun. Pero totoo naman talaga, sometimes we are overwhelmed with things to do and ang ating complaint lagi ay wala akong oras.
No.
Wala akong oras. Especially,
no.
Lord, Sunday, sorry Lord, I'm busy. I have other things to do. But sabi nga ni Jacques, if things really matter to you, you make time for them.
Kaya nga sabi ko lagi na you do not have to find time. You have to give time.
Yan.
Scheduling lang. Maganda yung sinabi
You have to know
ni...
your priorities.
Oo. Know your
Yeah, maganda yung
priorities.
sinabi ni Jax na it's just a matter of scheduling.
Yeah,
Lahat naman may lalagay, maaayos mo eh. Huwag ka
Oo.
matataranta kagad na...
Hingi lang, relax. Ako lang to. Ay. Relax. No, may time. Just have time. Just have to find time.
Scheduling.
Scheduling lang talaga siya. Don't find time, you have to give time.
Give time.
Intentional, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've browned the beef, we can add, if you have at home beef stock, you can use it 4 cups. But if you don't have, like here we're gonna use 4 cups water.
4 cups
4
water.
cups
Add it there.
water.
Pero 4 cups water, nag-isang 1 big bowl.
Oo.
So 1 plus 1
Na-measure na natin siya previously
Oh,
kasi.
yeah,
And then
okay.
we add 1 beef cube.
Ayan, beef cube.
Yes.
Beef
and then
cube.
we just let it boil.
Ayan.
Galing no. Saka pag tinitignan mo si Jacques, parang nag-enjoy lang siya talaga sa ginagawa niya.
Parang cool na cool nga talaga.
Excited ako na matikman nyo kasi Father.
Wow!
Diba? Ganun naman
Yes.
sa...
Speaking of scheduling, you have to find the right time, no? So mag-schedule muna tayo, Father Hans, mag-break muna tayo. We have to schedule yung break natin saglit, no? As we are now, yung atin pong beef stew ay talagang pinapasarap na loob.
Malapit na.
Yes, ni Jacques, no? So mag-break po muna kami, kaya nga alis, babalik po kami.
At tayo po ay nagbabalik dito with Miss Jacques para sa kanyang Korean beef stew.
Yes.
Mamaya, before,
Pero-
as we continue po cooking now, we would mention, ano ba yung hawak-hawak ni Father Hans?
Yes. Pakilala mo nga, Miss Jacques, kung sino itong nasa picture ng mga albums na hawak ko.
I think my face will speak for itself.
Hawig na hawig po kay Jacques.
Hawig na hawig, no?
Daddy.
Kasi
So,
nga ito ang
yan,
kanyang,
my
kanina pang
father.
ikinukwento sa atin na daddy ni Miss Jacques
Yes.
na isang
Singer.
jazz legend.
Legend.
Oh, di ba?
Doon na nakuha ni Jacques yung kanya
Yan,
pong
si
talent pagkakanta.
Arthur Manuntag.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Arthur Manuntag.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Sa atin pong pagluto, Jacques, where are we now sa ating paghahanda ng
well,
ating beef stew,
yes.
Korean beef stew?
The last time we added water and a beef cube. So, nag-boil na siya. And then we are just simmering it now. So, we can add the soy sauce.
Ayun na, para mayroon ng lasa yung ating pong beef
Yes.
stew.
Soy sauce.
Mhm.
And then, sige, add the sesame oil. 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Some people, if you don't want to
Wow,
use
dami.
brown sugar, you can also use strawberry jam. Na-try ko na rin siya. Okay siya.
Additional
And it's pretty, kasi common sa Korea ang strawberry jam.
strawberry.
So,
Kung taga-Baguio ka, common
and then
din sa
this
inyo.
one is gochujang.
Gochujang?
It's red chili paste. You
Naririnig
can
ko
find
na.
it in Korean groceries. Although before kasi,
gochujang.
naluto ko na to before na hindi pa uso yung mga Kmart. So I would just add like pepper, like sili.
Parang ganun
Pero
din.
saan
ang
siya galing basically ang gochujang?
But,
Siya is, tama ako, gochujang.
gochujang,
Saan siya galing? Ay, sili, siya is sili? Ganon,
Sabi niya,
na
sino
paste?
siya?
red chili paste. I think
Ang paste talaga
probably
siya.
there's also gochujaru kasi it's powder. So it gives off a really distinct flavor na,
Korean.
yeah.
Korean.
Yeah.
Ito yung parang sa kimchi nila, di ba? Yung kimchi ang medyo
Oo.
matapang nilang flavor talaga.
Yeah, so we just add that.
Yeah.
And then we allow it to simmer lang. Just
Alam mo
so
mukhang matamis
the
nga
beef
yan,
can
ang dami nung sukal kanina.
get the
Mukhang matamis.
Brown
flavor.
naman, healthy naman yun, Father Hans.
Sige, kahit nasukal pa rin yun.
Pero as we simmer yung ating
Yes.
buong beef stew, nabanggit na kayo na yung dad, no?
Oo.
Yung picture na hawak-hawak ni Father Hans.
Isang Christmas album at meron tayong trivia na yung My Kind of Christmas Is You ay sinulat ng walang iba kundi ng nagluluto sa atin ngayon.
Si Jacques.
Si Miss Jacques.
So basically, in a way, it tells us na yung pamilya ni Jacques, parang pamilya ng mga singers.
Kasi alam mo ba? Wow.
Yes.
Isa sa mga kanta rin dito, ang kajuwit ng kanyang daddy
brother.
ay ang kanyang brother na
Yes.
si
Sean.
Sean Paulo.
And I think
Yeah.
yung mama din niya.
Yes, my mom
Kumakanta
also
rin.
sings. Actually, my mom and my dad met in a band. So that's how they got together.
So paano nung bata kayo nakakasama-sama, nanonood kayo ng show?
Actually, parang when I was young, bawal ang bata sa bar.
Oo.
But since my dad has gigs, like we would be there with him as a family naman. So
Oo.
we would be backstage. And,
Nakapasok pa rin kayo.
Grabe.
So we're all musically inclined. Like we grew up in listening to different kinds of music.
So how does it feel yung pag nandun ka sa bar tapos palakpakan talaga lahat, no?
Yeah.
Daddy mo yun. Papa ko yan.
Oo.
Papa ko yan. Papa ko
Yes.
yan. Ganun ka.
Sarap ng pakiramdam.
Anong feeling ng anak ng isang celebrity in a way? Yeah.
I never really felt different, but it was always a proud moment whenever he's recognized. Kasi when I was younger, it was always smaller locations, smaller events. And then along the way, he would go on to bigger events, bigger concerts. And then eventually, he was the front act for international artists pa, like Dionne Warwick. Yes. So it was, I saw the development of his career in music.
Pero ikaw wala, you don't
Oo nga.
feel any pressure.
Anong-
Walang
Hindi
pressure.
naman. Pero I'm also inclined to
Ayun.
music. Like, I joined choirs when I was in elementary and high school. And then when I was in the youth group, nag-join din ako ng praise ministry and the worship team of our community.
Yun ang mahalaga, Father Hans. Yung gift niya.
Naging influence niya
Yes.
sa father niya, no?
Yes.
Pero gamit ka ngayon sa church.
Oo.
Yeah.
Sa choir, no? You're a choir member.
Formerly, but now I still sing sometimes in church for the young adult ministry whenever we have events for the mass or the
Yan.
holy
Nagkaroon
hour.
ka rin ng mga involvement, for example, sa mga musicals, sa mga concerts like that.
No, but there was a time that I just love music. Like I would go out to different locations to watch out for bands. But I have friends kasi who are, naturally, my dad is a musician, so I would meet other people my age also who are into music. And in our neighborhood, we had Where's the Sheep, homegrown from Merville. So they were my friends growing up. And then I joined them as photographer and coordinator of the bands
Ang
for a
galing.
time.
Worship, Father Hans.
Duo sila, di ba?
They're
Magaling
duos,
yun.
Mike
Where's the Ship?
Sumamoto
Where's
and
the Ship? Yan.
Hiro Mauricio.
Ang galing-galing nun. Yung mga music na very reflective.
Yes.
Ang good.
Mga
naging
praise songs, no?
Praise songs.
Yes,
praise songs.
contemporary
Inspirations,
Christian.
Contemporary Christian music din.
So you have been part of that group.
Yes, as photographer when they were
Photographer,
still starting, and then when they started getting more gigs, they had needed a coordinator for the band to remind them of this event or that event or what time you need to be
Ikaw
there.
yun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I wanted to be involved in music, but at the same time, their music was God-centered also. So that was part of the draw for me why I joined.
Yeah.
In all this, how does the Ming Ministry, itong gawain to sa, una sa yung gift mo, pangalawa yung karne, kung kumusta ba? Ito
Okay naman, it's just to
Okay
simmer.
pa.
Okay pa.
Yeah.
Yung sa family mo, yung daddy mo ay mga singers kayo. Then ngayon na-involve ka rin sa yung worship, no? Ang gawain mo sa, and then even yung sa parish, no? Sa the feast, no? Anyway, in all these things, where do you think God is leading you so far? Meron kang, kasi you're very young, parang dami pang
Dami
pwedeng
na.
puntahan.
Oo.
Ang dami pang options
Pero
and
ang dami,
choices.
ang dami na rin naibigay na options sa kanya.
Yeah, ewan ko, ikaw eh, meron ka na pinipili? Where do you think you'd want to go?
I think, well, I have a duty to my family and the family business. So naturally, that's where I will be because you have to take responsibility for what's given to you. But at the same time, no matter what vocation you choose, God is always calling you to serve Him in ways that you are able to. Yun. So it doesn't need, hindi naman kailangan na mag-madre ako or something. But,
Magpari na lang siguro.
Hindi, para ba siya sabi niya, kahit saan ka man dalhin ng Diyos, anumang karir ang dumating sa iyo or vocation, ang una mong isipin ay, how can I serve the Lord
Yeah.
through this gift that I receive? No matter what, religious man yan, lay ka man, but always think of how to serve God as your way of thanking God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of yung every time may election, like sabihin, may isang nagsasabi lagi na hindi ko kailangan ng posisyon para makapaglingkod. Kailangan ko lang, wherever I am, kahit wala akong posisyon, I
will
can actually serve, no? Yung sa kanyang sinishare sa atin ngayon, ano, ni Jacques, hindi ko kailangan ng, well, in any way, I can go, I can choose, pero in all these things, ang aking priority is God.
I must serve.
Makapag-serve kay God.
I
no?
must serve
Oo,
God.
oo, oo.
So, yung parents mo, you still have your both parents?
my father passed away in 2018. So it's just me and my mom now. My brother kasi is somewhere abroad.
Dito sa Young Adult Ministry ba, ano ang meron ka bang special role dito, assignment?
Right now, actually, nung medyo bago pa siya, I was quickly added naman to the core group. So we would be the ones to handle the events. But And then right now, like our previous head kasi, she just got married. So medyo nag-iba yung priorities niya. So I had to step up temporarily as head now.
Naku, hindi temporary. Feeling ko. Ikaw na yan. Wala na.
Baka ito yung bagong leading ni Lord sa kanya.
Yeah.
Oo nga. So kung kayo na lang ni Mami, di pati sa pagsisimba, kasama mo rin si
Yes,
Mami
we're
sa
always together.
church.
My
So,
mom loves
best
going to
friend.
church also.
Oh, best friend.
So ba ay member na rin ng any ministry or
Not
organization?
yet, but she always joins me naman whenever I have to go to church. Kasi nakaka-relate naman siya bagets din si Mami.
Yun.
Stage mom. Stage mom talaga.
O batiin naman natin si Mami.
Bili mo si Mami.
Hi,
Diba?
Mom.
Of course, yung parish mo, no? Yung
Yes.
si Father Ruggiero, no?
Yes.
Father Ruggiero, no? Magandang
Tama.
buongiorno,
Hello.
Padre. Buongiorno.
Tama ba doon ang pinaka-parish mo ngayon?
Right
Sir.
now, I serve in St. Alfonso's for the young adults.
With Monsignor Matt.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Monsignor Matt.
syempre,
Isang
Monsignor.
avid supporter ng TV Maria. Hi, Monsignor.
Yes,
Hi,
Monsi,
Monsignor.
syempre.
Monsignor.
Siyempre. di ba?
Annyeonghaseyo.
So, as we now are waiting for the simmering
Yes.
splendid,
Okay.
shining, shimmering,
Oo.
simmering splendid.
Maya-maya lang, matitikman na natin, Father Roy.
Yeah. Anyo sa'yo, Father Hans.
Ah,
Bukuya na
sa
naman tayo.
akin.
Ayan.
Kaya wag po kayo aalis, tayo po ay malapit na maging Korean. Dahil matitikman na po natin ng Korean beef stew ni Jax. Magbabalik po tayo sa Tastetimony.
Yes. And we are back. Take note po, hindi po Beefs 1, hindi po Beefs 3. It's Beefs Stew.
Yes.
Huwag kayo magkakomment. Huwag kayo magkakomment.
Dahil first time mo na matitikman yan.
Beefs 1.
Yeah! This is my second time.
Beefs 2.
stew.
Ano ka, lagi-lagi, ha?
Always beef?
Ay, nako!
Okay, so it's been
Yan.
simmering for a while. So
Ayan.
makikita nyo naman na parang dito.
Yung kulay niya, ano, ayan. Beef na talaga
So it's
siya.
just, we've been stirring it for
Naku, I'm sure
every
marami
other
na nakakamiss,
time.
lalo na yung mga mahilig mag-travel, no?
Yes.
Jax?
Yeah, oo,
Yung mga
naku.
mahilig mag-travel.
Hanggang kain-kain na lang ng Korean food, wala mo ng
Sige.
soul. Yan.
Ano yan?
Wait, let's just add half of the garlic and then half we can use for garnish. Same with the sesame seeds.
Oo. Kasi alam mo, ang daming mga na-stop din mag-travel, eh, no? Jax, no?
No, mukhang ikaw humuhugot, Father Hans. Kahit na pa yung hugot mong travel, ah.
Eh kasi nga may gusto ng Korean ngayon talaga. Nakakapansin. Din sabi mo nga yung mga pinapanood sa pagkain.
Yeah.
Pati-
Lalo kapag nanonood ka, lagi silang kumakain.
Oo
So
nga.
madadamay ka talaga.
Hindi nawawala yung sa eksena yung kain, ano?
Yes.
Ng mga
Sa
Koreans.
Korean series na yan. Lagi may
Oo.
kain ng kain. So, ikaw din naman, naghanap ka sa refrigerator, ano makakain ko dito?
Tapos nakakatawa
Kain ka
pa
ng
kasi may
kain.
mga design yung pagkain nila, yung mga nasa lunchbox. Di ba, no? Yung mga fish.
Kanina si Jackson nag-aral pa siya ng Korean, basic Korean, ano?
Bakit ka
Basic.
nag-aral, Jax, ng Korean?
There was a time that I had an opportunity to work in Korea. So I studied basic. And then, ayun. But then I had to fulfill my duty and take over the family
Parang
business.
parang siya talagang model, parang siya yung very responsible na anak.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Na alam niya yung kanyang obligasyon, even though siguro may pangarap, may siyang gustong gawin, subukan, pero well, meron siyang duty, so duty
Yeah, I
comes
feel
first.
like it's also part of when you say that you have to carry your cross. Like, we all have to carry our crosses. We have to take responsibility for ourselves and the people around us, and to God, to our family, and to our friends. So that's part of it.
Nabanggit mo kayo na, di ba, na actually, wherever you are, you can actually do it
Yes.
there.
Saka
Kahit na,
who knows,
ano.
scheduling lang. Baka hindi. Pagdating ng panahon, di ba? For now, ito yung schedule ko. To be a responsible daughter.
Yes.
Di ba? Pero after nito, baka
Pag ito ay
naka-schedule.
more established na siya.
Yes.
eh, ganun,
Because
oo.
our God is a God of surprises. So
Oh.
we have to be open to where He will lead us.
Grabe, dami niya ngayon pa lang, no? Pero siguro formally, I'd like to ask the question. Although kanina, all throughout the program, you have been already sharing your thoughts, your insights, no? Siguro in all these things ay yung karanasan, you're still young, and yet marami ka na experience, no? Yung pag-serve mo sa church, sa even yung losing your dad, no? Even ngayon, you're bound by duty, no, to your family na mag-serve ka dito sa Hungry Burger,
Business.
yung ngayong minamanage
Yeah.
ngayon, ano? In all these things, ano siguro yung mga deep learnings na you'd like to share also sa ating
Life
mga
lessons.
life lessons mo na siguro matapos man maubos naman yung Bips 2, Bips 1, Bips 3, pero yung insight mo, yung learning mo, yung wisdom mo, hindi na makakalimutan. Ano kaya yung gusto mong sabihin sa amin?
Well, I feel like first and foremost, you have to know your values. You have to know what you believe in. And it's not just something na alam mo for yourself, because you have to be able to talk to other people about it, to share it, which is important specifically for our faith, because we know this to be true. So, ako, cradle Catholic ako, like, ever since I was a child, I was a Catholic, pero, and I've served through the years, but sometimes, I know na parang it's just playing a role somehow. Parang, you believe in God, but do you really live out what you believe in? And it took a while for me to like gather my thoughts, to make it click somehow. Because actually, let me just tell a story na lang. Like, recently, I talked with a friend. He used to be an atheist. Like, I knew him to be an atheist when we were in college. And then, random lang, nag-usap kami. And then suddenly, he just tells me that he's now a Catholic. And I'm in awe that God worked on him. But at the same time, during our talk, like, I realized na mas marami siyang alam sa akin. So parang ako, I've always been serving in church, but meron na ba akong na-convince or na-welcome na tao to also believe in what I believe in. So that drove me to know more about my faith. Kasi I already know that I believe in God, but that's one of the things that you ask yourself sometimes, like, one, is there a God? And then the second part of that is, do I really believe in Him? Like, the way that I live, does it show that I believe in a God? So, I want to be able to
Inspire, I think
Yeah,
the word
and-
to inspire people to believe
and
also.
share, like, to be able to talk to people about it. Because if I'm not convinced with myself that this is what I believe in, if I don't know how to share it, parang paano ka paniniwalaan ng ibang tao?
Yeah.
Like, how will
Hindi
you
ka convincing
help?
nga.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yes.
Ang galing, para bang your friend prepared himself din talaga for that faith. Kasi it's not just knowing your faith, but really believing your faith, then that's the time you can share your faith.
I
If
think
you-
it's kasi parang a lot of us believe in God, like, because we feel Him. But it's a different matter to connect your wisdom, your knowledge, na mag-agree sila na totoo to. Yan.
I think friend mo itong well, the former atheist, the fact na friend mo siya and you're a Catholic, I'm sure in a way isa ka din sa mga tao o bagay na instrumental why nagpursige siyang hanapin yung paghanap sa Diyos ba, no? Kaya siguro I would like to say, no, that siguro ikaw din, no, in how you live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. I guess part of that is because, syempre, the people around me always see that I go to church and I serve in church. So maybe, even if I don't get to speak and share about it the way that I live, make them question how they live also.
Oo.
Pero alam mo, Jack, do you think na aside from sharing these Korean babes to...
Naamoy niyo na ba, Father?
Oo. Naamoy mo nga sa gusto mo
Pero
talaga.
aside from sharing your talent, your skill in cooking this food, do you think na this guesting is also a chance for you to share your faith and to show?
Definitely. Because, I've seen the people that you've guested before and they are pretty known. Parang when I was approached for this, I was questioning, why would I be chosen to be part of this? And then I realized na it's important also to show someone who's striving to be a
Yes.
better Catholic, to know more about the faith. And I've always, like, lagi ko naman sinasabi sa sarili ko na if it's an opportunity that God presents you, why will you say no?
Amen.
Saka ang galing, ito yung sinasabi mong sharing your faith, not just
Yeah.
knowing and believing, but sharing your faith. Ito ang kailangan ng marami, especially these young people, the young
Yes.
adults.
I guess
Ito yun.
part of it, kasi diba sabi ko parang yung challenge sa akin was how will I be able to share my faith? So now, yan, nagpo-post na si God ng mga opportunities for you. Will you say no? Or will you finally go for it and start somewhere? Because you have to start somewhere, diba?
I think Father Hans, more than, of course, sharing the faith and also sharing
Sharing
food.
food.
Sharing
Start
the
na rin
food.
natin.
Napaka-important sharing the food.
Start na rin natin yan.
Oo,
Yay!
yan.
Ayan na.
Okay,
Ang
so,
ganda-ganda, no? Ang galing naman.
I
Oo
just-
nga, parang di bata ito, eh, no?
Oo.
Parang napaka...
Sharing mo.
Mayroon na siyang depth sa kanyang faith, no? Although all of us naman are all saints in the making pa rin, no?
course,
There's
of
still room for
course.
improvement. But
Yes.
still, we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Sige,
Ito.
atin yung, pwede ba yung matikman ngayon,
yes,
Jax?
definitely.
With the rice, Father Roy,
Of
with the
course,
rice.
of course, of course. Rice ba kagad yan? Where do we... Sa bowl ba muna o rice kagad yan? Sabaw ka agad?
Diyan na
Prepare
lang.
it
Yeah.
here.
Pwede na yan.
Mm.
At
Kasi
napakarami
ano
yan.
naman siya, we already
Pero konti-konti
Pre-
lang.
gumamit tayo ng pressure cooker earlier para malambot na agad yung beef. But if you're just at home, you can also brown your beef raw para rin better yung caramelization niya to add flavor to the beef. And then, yun lang, matatagalan talaga sa pagpapalambot. But it's better kasi papasok na agad yung lasa nung ano. Wait, Father, let's garnish it. Para may
sorry,
desal.
i-garnish na pala yan.
Ano mo?
Oo.
Para
Ala,
maganda ang ating presentation.
Daya.
Binabarniz pala barniz.
Pinaasa mo ako ah.
Ayan, para Korean talaga,
Yan.
Father Hans. No?
Nasa
feel na feel kita eh. Parang miss mo talaga yung Korea eh.
Nasa presentation din talaga.
Yan.
Mm. Ayan. Yes,
Ay, sir.
Mainit. Mainit po, mainit.
And then if you have mirin available, you can also add half cup of mirin to add para mas Korean flavor, Korean tasting siya. Mas
Yeah.
authentic yung lasa.
Wow.
Yaan niya sa'yo. Ayan.
Lalagyan ng marami. Yung sa kanya kahit wala na masyado na.
And ano,
Ganyan, Father Hans. Wala kang scheduling. Ano yung schedule yan eh?
you can also add salt and pepper to taste if you want, but I find that hindi naman siya necessary.
Very Korean.
Pero, yeah, it depends naman sa panlasa niya.
Of course, ikaw, kailangan mo rin yan.
Or if you want na medyo mas maanghang, you just add more gochujang.
Bachachan.
More chili.
Ayan na. Tado, i-ready na natin ang face
Oo,
shield.
baka
at tayo
mamaya
magdadasal na
subo mo
tayo.
na naman yung face shield natin. Ayan.
Okay, tayo mananalangin.
Yay!
Excited
Kaya
talaga.
mag-pray in Korean, Father Hans.
Excited.
Mag-pray ka ba in Korean?
Amen lang ang kailangan. Pag-pray Korean, amen.
Amen.
Alam ko.
Iyan na. So, it looks very Korean po, ano?
Yes, yes.
And of course, it smells like very
Authentic.
Korean.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm sure it's going to taste like Korean delicacy, food talaga, no? Ayan. Sige, Father Hans, maybe you would like to bless the food, Father?
Bless us, O Lord, and this thy gifts which we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord.
Amen! Yes! Thank you very much sa iyo pong
Yes.
inihanda sa amin today, Jack. So, can we taste it now?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Father Hans, ubusin ha. Tikim lang muna.
Hindi, shop. Kanya-kanya tayo.
Mm.
Parang, wow.
Matamis talaga. Korean, Father Hans. At
Sabi
maanghang
kasi,
naman pala
diba?
siya.
Slightly.
Actually-
The gochujang.
Maanghang talaga.
Maanghang ba?
Maanghang siya, Father Hans. Tama.
Naku,
At ito ay masarap pag merong kanin.
Yes.
Kaya nga, lalo tayong mga Pilipino, ang Korean ba mahilig din sa kanin sila?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ang alam ko, may sa ano lang eh, yung manghang na dahon. Sige nga, Father Hans. Kumusta, Father Hans? At malambot na siya.
Yes.
Ito yung talagang
Gumamit
na
po.
pressure
cooker.
Pressure cooker.
Malasang-malasa yung sauce. Manamis-namis na hindi nga maalat. Totoong manamis-namis. Yung
Sana.
anghang yan, naninipa yung anghang. Ha?
Harap. Naparami yung kanin mo.
Well, habang tinitikman namin to, Jack, please continue to promote your
Oh, okay.
family
So,
business muna.
for everyone who's not yet familiar, this is Hungry Burgers. We have 8-inch in diameter burgers. May
Yeah.
lalabas
8
pa
inch
natin.
talaga, grabe, no?
Yes, parang tingnan mo, halos if I transfer it to a plate,
Meron tayong plate
May
dito?
plate ba ba tayo dyan?
Meron tayong
Malaki?
plate dito?
Ayan, sa ilalim niyan,
May
kuya.
tata.
Opo, kuya.
Let's see kung gano'ng kalaki ang big burger, yung hungry burger nila. Yan, this is a burger.
Wow, grabe no.
Ito po yung plato. At yung buong plato po ay napuno ng isang
Grabe.
burger.
yes po. So we have 2 branches at the moment. One is in Zubel Rojas in Manila, and the other one is in Moonwalk, Parañaque. Yes. So we're also available on Grab Food for nearby areas. But you can also order from Food Trip kung medyo malayo-layo kayo sa stores.
Paano kayo nanay ko sa Bicol?
Special
paano to,
order.
Maka.
Special order, pwede yan.
Ayan. So, nako, thank you very much talaga, no?
Yes.
Sa unang-una sa masarap na pagkain ay yung inihanda para sa amin today, yung atin pong Korean beef stew. Annyeonghaseyo. So,
Uy,
yun
teka
po.
lang. Ano ba yan sa Korean yung masarap?
Mashit sayo.
Mashit
sa
sa'yo.
akin?
Inko, mashit sayo.
Mashit natin.
Mashit sa'yo.
Masarap
Ang
siya.
Kamsamnida.
Samnida.
Pang Korean novela na tayo.
Oo nga eh.
Jacques, maraming salamat.
Thank you rin po, Father.
And please continue to serve the church.
Yeah, and you're inspiring more young people as well. Sabi mo nga kanina, no? Yung, maybe sa tingin mo ay napaka-insignificant pa rin yung contribution, pero yung presensya, yung soothing words, even yung tono, napaka-relaxing. No? These are all actually your gift that you can contribute to the church. At maraming kabataan din, at even hindi mga kabataan, I'm sure they can be able to learn from you.
Yeah. God bless you and your family.
Yes.
Kamsamnida.
Kamsamnida. Maraming salamat po. Tayo po ay magbabalik pa rin habang patuloy namin kakainin ang masarap na Korean beefs.
Beefs
Beefs
1.
1, Beefs 2, Beefs 3.
Bye-bye.
Kaya like Father Hans, no, kahit anong edad mo, ikaw ay merong puwang sa simbahan. Ano? No matter ikaw ay batang-bata, ikaw ay youth, ikaw ay young professional and professional, even of course, yung ating po mga medyo advanced in age, kahit anong age mo, ang simbahan, meron po para sa iyong naka-allocate na of course ministry, opportunity to serve, and even po friends, no?
Yes. Ako ang baong ko dito mula sa stories and lessons ni Jacques ay yung kahit saan ka padalin ng Diyos, no? Maging vocation man yan, profession man. Minsan kasi napagtatalo natin na, no, it's not a profession, it's a vocation. Kahit saan mo pang tignan yan, ang mahalaga, you always have that desire to serve the Lord to wherever and to whatever na dumating sa buhay mo, pagkakataon at biyaya, always have that desire to serve the Lord.
Yan. Hindi mo kailangan ng pagkakataon kung ikaw ang gumawa ng pagkakataon para ikaw ay makapag-serve.
Kaya, join in. For the best way to one's heart is through the stomach.
So let us serve one another with grace before meals and after meals too. Ako po si Father Roy Bellen.
At ako po si Father Hans Magdurulang. Muli tayong magsama-sama sa isang masarap at masayang kwentuhan dito sa
Tastetimony!
Nagustuhan nyo ba ang aming episode today? Para sa iba pang programa ng TV Maria,
Maaari kayong mag-subscribe sa aming YouTube channel at TV Maria Feels.
at huwag nyo rin kalimutang i-click ang notification bell.
See ya! See you! Bye-bye!